BNB was set to rocket. Top exchange coin of the top exchange in the thick of a Bitcoin super cycle. Had everything to gain and nothing to lose until it did a few weeks ago. The Treasury and Department of Justice announced actions in a settlement against Changpeng Zhao, or CZ, and his exchange Binance. It's left a lot of questions around the future of this current top 5 project. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into the BNB coin and its ecosystem, so make sure you stick around all the way to the very end of this video if you want to catch up on everything that's been happening with BNB and learn my opinion about what the future holds for this network. Let's get it. Welcome to the Ben Armstrong Crypto Experience. Today, we're going to be doing another explainer video, this time for BNB, the utility token of the BNB chain and Binance ecosystem. Remember, these videos are for entertainment and educational purposes only, and not financial advice, but you will definitely make a lot of money with them. If you want crypto news, watch the other guys. If you want to experience crypto, do yourself a favor and tap that subscribe button. If you want to check out any other of my crypto explainer videos, the best in the business, make sure to click the link on the screen. Binance Coin has the ticker BNB, and using the ticker is actually the most common way to describe this asset. You'll hear people say BNB a lot more often than you'll hear them say Binance Coin. BNB has been at the top of the crypto charts since early 2021, holding strong around the top for over 2 years now, which is an eternity in crypto. Wait a second, it means I'm on my 7th eternity in crypto. Oh well. BNB currently has a market cap of over $39 billion, holding the number 4 spot just behind Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether. Buyers of the Binance ICO got the BNB coin for just 15 cents, and it fell as low as 11 cents after the launch, but went to reach an all-time high of over $680. Which means that investors of the ICO saw a 457,440% return on their investment, multiplying their bet by about 4,575 times. If you like placing bets, you need to check out our channel sponsor, Stake. Stake is the world's largest social casino in the entire world. The largest casino in the world, in the entire world. Who would have thought? Visit the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to get your account started with Stake. Fun, games, social chat, babes, just kidding, there's no babes, and more. The Ben Armstrong Crypto Experience, powered by Stake. Now, let's dig into the tokenomics for BNB. 200 million BNB tokens were initially pre-mined, but only half of these tokens made it on the market. The distribution included 80 million for founders, 100 million for the public ICO sale, and 20 million for investors. The money that was sent to the founders was not immediately spent, though. There's also a manual burning mechanism that reduces the potential total supply of coins by removing some of those founder tokens from the market. Binance occasionally burns a portion of its BNB to reduce supply and increase its scarcity, and hopefully its value too. Originally, the goal was to continue these burns until 100 million BNB is destroyed, which would account for 50% of the total supply. With all the trouble that Binance has been in recently, those plans could change, but more on that later. If you don't want to get in trouble, then make sure you smash that like button, or I'm going to make sure you're grounded. To help spread crypto adoption makes my former business partners cry. So do your part and give this video a boost. The founding team behind BNB is the founding team of Binance, including CZ himself, also known as Changpeng Zhao, his real name. While CZ is the face of the brand, there's a massive team of developers and financial experts working behind the scenes to make the magic happen. Binance Coin launched along with the Binance Exchange in 2017 as part of the Binance ICO, which raised $15 million to start the company. At first, Coin was just used for discounted trading fees on the exchange, but would later be used as the gas token to power the Binance blockchain, which was called Binance Smart Chain, or BSC, back in the day. Eventually, they changed the name to BNB Chain, probably to distance the project from the centralized exchange as much as possible for legal reasons. Binance instantly became one of the biggest exchanges in the world after its launch in 2017 because it had all the low-cap altcoins that the other exchanges like Coinbase were afraid to list. This success allowed Binance to hire a massive team of skilled developers that was able to launch the perfect product at the perfect time. In 2020, when the bull market was heating up, everyone wanted to experiment with DeFi, NFTs, and all the cool things they were hearing about on Ethereum, but the gas prices were crazy. It was costing $100 just to transact on DeFi and thousands to mint an NFT. There were other smart contract networks out there at the time, like Tron, Cardano, EOS, and Tezos, but most of them didn't have applications that people could actually use, except for wallets to hold and stake their tokens. There were no actual DeFi or NFT ecosystems to compete with Ethereum. That's when Binance launched their own competing Layer 1 network to offer a cheaper, faster, and more centralized version of what was happening on Ethereum. This ended up being very controversial among the Ethereum community, who started to see CZ as a villain because he was flooding their bags by promoting a competitor. But there's nothing compared to the controversy that Binance has faced recently. The authorities in the Western world have been after CZ for years because he was one of the last holdouts of early crypto founders that refused to comply with the banking surveillance systems in the United States and Europe. Nowadays, Everyone is very familiar with KYC processes, where you have to give your private information to an exchange before trading with them. It's accepted as standard now, but it was actually very controversial in the early days. Of course, even our exchange of choice, FEMX, now requires KYC. But that's no problem, because all you got to do is sign up with my FEMX link in the description. Trading's a great skill to have, and once you have it down, you have the ability to print money, maybe, if you're good. Once you sign up, click the link in the description to get your Palau e-citizenship. Once your card arrives in the mail in 6 weeks, head back over to your FEMX account, do KYC, boom, that easy. Now, earlier in crypto, Eric Voorhees faced legal troubles for working to create platforms that allowed users to trade anonymously. And even Uncle Brian publicly refused to comply with information requests from the government, but a lot has changed since then. To be clear, not his hair. It hasn't changed for over 20 years. Many of the OGs who were really passionate about privacy issues and ran their businesses accordingly ended up getting in a lot of trouble and were forced to change their ways. There was Charlie Shrem, Eric Voorhees, Arthur Hayes, and many others, but CZ somehow managed to avoid the long arm of the law by constantly moving the Binance headquarters and never really having a home base. He also became very wealthy very fast, and Binance seemed too big to fail. When the law finally did catch up with CZ this year, they had to make a big deal out of it. But I don't think their case is very strong, and even if CZ does go to prison for a while, this would automatically cause the downfall of Binance or BNB. CZ now stands accused of knowingly helping people launder money and avoid sanctions, but he didn't steal customer funds like SBF did. His main crime was not collecting information about his customers for the government. I'm sure this wasn't just a philosophical crusade to protect your privacy. CZ probably had his own financial motivations as well. He knew that he would make more money if his platform was more appealing to people who did want privacy in crypto, so he waited as long as possible to start enforcing KYC policies. This was probably against the law, but it was definitely nothing like what we saw at FTX. Even after everything that Binance has been through, the community of the BNB network and even the Binance centralized exchange have remained strong. One thing that helps is the fact that BNB is extremely popular outside of the US, especially in Asia and Latin America. Binance is facing legal troubles here in the US, and it's a big deal for us, but in most of the rest of the world, these crypto companies are able to operate and serve customers with much fewer restrictions. The international crypto community is not forced to base all of the decisions they make on the whims of Dirty Gary and Fed Boy Jerome, like we are here. And that's awesome news for BNB and Binance both. CZ is also a cult of personality that has become even more legendary after stepping down from the company because of government persecution. There will always be a community around him because of what he has done for the industry and how he continues to promote the philosophy of freedom that inspired so many of us to dedicate our lives to crypto. When looking at the tech, it's important to recognize the BNB chain has a lot of similarities with Ethereum because of its EVM compatibleness. This means that you can interact with the chain using MetaMask, but it gets a bit more complicated than that. To give you the best breakdown of what this means in relation to BNB, I have to quote the best crypto book in the industry, the Crypto Bible, if you will, catch you up to crypto. EVM compatible means that a blockchain is compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine. In other words, it uses the same programming language that Ethereum does. This makes it easy to port applications from one blockchain to another without creating a ton of extra work for developers. This also makes it very easy for competitors to fork the code of an original project, create their own copycat version. This happened a lot on BSC, which used Binance's exchange token BNB as its native currency in the same way that ETH is used on Ethereum. On BSC, there was a clone of Uniswap called PancakeSwap, which allowed users to trade tokens for a fraction of the price they paid on Ethereum. Lower fees were possible on the BSC network because it was developed with a different architecture that made different trade-offs. The BSC network was significantly more centralized than Ethereum, with far fewer nodes, which allowed for a higher throughput, but much less security. There's a QR code on the screen, guys, if you want my book. New FTX book out any day. BNB chain is EVM compatible, but it uses a consensus mechanism called Proof of Stake Authority, which combines elements of Proof of Stake and Delegated Proof of Authority. This is the mechanism that allows for high transaction throughput and low fees, but this is also one of the things that makes the network more centralized. Validators in the network are required to stake BNB, Binance's native token, to participate in the blockchain's governance and transaction validation process. That's another utility that the BNB coin has in the network. While we're on the subject, let's review the different utilities that Binance Coin has. The first utility for BNB was discounts on trading fees for the Binance exchange. Then BNB was later used to participate in token sales, staking for rewards, paying for gas, and as a reserve asset for DeFi projects and NFT ecosystem. BNB is also used for governance, as I just mentioned. The BNB chain has a very interesting ecosystem, and the most popular decentralized exchange, of course, on it is PancakeSwap. And a large portion of the trading that happens here is for meme coins and other low caps. A BNB version of Tether is also frequently traded on PancakeSwap and other DeFi platforms on the network. Finance is not where BNB thrives. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of tokens that pop off on this network. but it's not the main home of many blue chip DeFi platforms. This is probably because there are still some centralization and security concerns with the network, and that's okay. Trade-offs that this chain has chosen make it perfect for other mainstream use cases like gaming and even social media, even though it may not have enough trust for high-level finance. For example, Alien Worlds was built on BNB chain and is one of the top blockchain games of 2023, according to CoinGecko's GameFi report. The report found that BNB was in the top 10 chains for blockchain games. One thing that I noticed looking at the figures was that many of the top projects were carried by just one game, or they were focused specifically on blockchain gaming and nothing else. The Ronin chain is the home of Axie Infinity, one of the biggest games in the industry. And the Hive blockchain is home of Splinterlands, which is extremely popular as well. But there isn't much else happening on these chains. This tells me that the race is still very early and anything can happen. The whole Binance ecosystem is facing a moment of truth right now. CZ is awaiting his court date and he's not allowed to leave the country. At the very least, he's going to owe the US government billions of dollars. There are other people in control of the company, but if something serious happened to CZ, it could have a major impact on BNB. This makes BNB a very high risk and high reward play. There's definitely some risk involved with such a high profile case, but the price of the BNB coin is heavily suppressed for this reason. A lot of people aren't buying because they're afraid of what might happen in court. And that makes the price a lot lower than it should be. Very similar to what we saw with XRP during the last cycle. BNB is in the mid 200s now, which is less than half of its all-time high. BNB and XRP are very different though, because XRP is a very unique protocol with very few competitors. Meanwhile, BNB has a ton of competitors like Solana, Avalanche, and a long list of new layer 1 networks that have been rolling out in preparation for this cycle. I personally think that BNB will have a hard time keeping up with the newer era of layer 1s. It isn't the old days anymore, when BNB and Ethereum were the only working blockchains in town. In this cycle, I believe that we will see BNB fall out of the top 10, although it will still probably get plenty of use in certain parts of the world. Let me know what you guys think about BNB. Is this a coin you're interested in, or has the US government scared you away? On your way out, please do me a favor, hit that like button, help us keep the lights on. Be blessed.